Heartbreaking question remains. Why is a man like this still allowed to drive? Why has no company taken firm action to protect the very people they promise safety to?
Uber are still allowing this man to drive after he has victimized a lot of girls.
Every day they're going to complain about our riders. Every day.
So why would Uber and Bolt and InDrive allow a known criminal work with them?
Will you be employing a highway robber to be on the highway picking people?
Every day that passes without justice is another day of risk for countless women. What use is technology if it cannot protect the vulnerable? What good is business when it ignores the cries of the broken? To the companies, the question is simple. How many more women must be hurt before you act? How many more tears must fall before you listen?
Please, Nigerian police, come to our help. Like, the government should look into it. Police, they should look into it. And even close to like 8 or more were saying, oh, I've inside this man car before. Oh, I'm a victim. Oh, I almost got kidnapped. What? The worst part of this issue is that it has been reported to the police, but police did nothing about it.
To every reader, this is not just a story. This is a call to wake up, a call to demand safety, a call to make sure that no man, no matter how cunning, is allowed to use the wheel as a weapon against women again. Because as long as this man is allowed to drive, every woman on the road is in danger.
The government is not doing anything. Somebody should do something about this guy.
Every single day, Lagos generates over 13,000 metric tons of solid waste, more than many African countries produce in a week. But less than half of this waste is properly collected or disposed, while the rest piles up in streets, markets, and growing dump sites across the city, turning communities into ticking time bombs. From Ojota to Agege, Ayobo to Iyanoba, and across Lagos, waste is piling up faster than it can be managed, threatening both the health of residents and the environment.
Very, very hard, like just to struggle for myself and for my kids too. So that life in this place is just like, just for you to look for somewhere to just hide your head, just put your head.
And they face a lot of challenges here in this place because like what I'm saying here, the place they live, kind of work they do, where they cook and what they eat every day. It's going to affect them because many of them are here just for them to survive.
There is just one of two things that is come up, is that they will have to sell something before they will see money here to eat. Either they sell plastic or a rubber or keg or nylon, so they'll need to sell it. They'll work hard to get the money here. But in this place, you see a lot of people, they are living here. It's not like they don't have the money to rent house, but the money is too hard for them to see. Even though if they see the money safe, they will have to buy something. If rain fall, you will see a lot of water before you are coming into this place.
But beyond residents, thousands of people depend on these dump sites for survival, selling food and scavenging recyclables in risky and unhealthy conditions just to make a living. The question remains, how is the government tackling this challenge, and what is the plan for communities like Ojota, where the health of thousands is at stake?
We have monitoring and compliance officers who go around to enforce environmental laws. So since last year, we've arrested and prosecuted close to 200 offenders for littering, for dumping bulk waste. And we've also sealed a lot of facilities, commercial facilities that have not been obeying the environmental laws. We need to reduce the amount of waste we're generating. We need to reuse as much of that waste as possible, and also to recycle as much as possible. And that's the gospel we've been taking throughout the state. We're currently running a 2-bin system in Lagos. We have 2 bins, a green bin for general waste and a blue bin for mixed recyclables. And we have 80,000 of those, which we're selling through our websites. The 2 legacy dump sites at Olushosun and Solus 3 in Igodo Each dump site will be replaced by a transfer loading station. From these transfer loading stations, we'll transport waste to new material recovery facilities, one in Ikorodu and one in Badagry. And those two sites collectively will process about 4,000 tons of waste out of the 13,000 we generate daily.
With this sensitization, we hope that the market women actually comply with the rules of the Thursday sanitation. That's number one, which is very essential. Number two is to keep their goods and the things they sell in the proper places they are meant to keep them. Trade in the proper places they are meant to trade. Don't trade on the walkway. Abide by the rules. Leave the amount of meters that's left to be on the road for cars and vehicles to, to move around. And not only that alone, it's also essential for our market women as well. Once they are done with the day's trade, they should clean and sweep, the place that they've carried out their trade, their stores and their shops, put it in a proper, nice waste bin, tie it up, and take it to where the lawnmower operatives are meant to carry out, their duties, and make sure the disposal is as neat and as clean as possible. Because that's where we buy our food, that's where we buy a lot of things to take to our houses, and if it's not properly kept and the hygiene is not well done, we run dangers and, risk of having food disease and, disease outbreak.
While government agencies continue to emphasize citizen responsibilities, residents insist that stronger intervention and real actions are urgently needed to prevent further environmental and health crises.
In addition, we have waste-to-energy projects planned for our EZEKWE dump site, which has been closed. That's by the free trade zone. There's going to be a waste-to-energy plant there to be constructed by Harvest Waste, a Dutch company. And that waste-to-energy plant will take in about 2,500 tons of waste daily to generate 60 to 80 megawatts of electricity to power the future of Lagos. Loma has a partnership with Lamata to build a biogas plant that will take in organic waste, both solid and liquid organic waste, and generate biomethane to power the mass transit fleet of Lamata and the compactor trucks that we use for collection of waste statewide.
For us as a local government, it's something we've done with our legislative arm within us here at Agege local government, is to make sure that anyone caught disposing waste the wrong way is going to be fined 50,000 naira, and they would also sign an agreement that allows us to know that once they do the same thing again, is either they pay more fine, and also we also hand them over to the necessary authorities to carry out all other regulations on the all other enforcement on them. For example, some people actually go to serve jail term, in regards to dropping refuse, illegally. That's one thing. And also environmental sanitation. People that don't sanitize, carry out sanitation in their houses, clean their drainages, will seal up their houses and ensure they pay a fine. After sensitization, which is the month of September, we are also going straight to inner street sweeping. We'll be bringing out people from the communities who will be appointed as street sweepers, and we'll pay them to make sure our inner streets are clean. We'll be making sure we carry along and the stakeholders around the ones that are nominated by the government to sweep the major highways, across local governments. Also, we are building an enforcement team, creating an enforcement team to manage people who have decided that they want to drop waste illegally. And not only that, we are also creating a drainage team that will be clearing all drainages across our local governments. We are also empowering and ensuring that we strengthen our own local security operatives to help us ensure that we catch people who are dropping waste illegally.
For now, Lagosians wait and hope that promises of cleaner, safer communities will move beyond talks and become a reality. Imisioluwa Afumisho, African News 24 TV.
Every morning, we wake up to breaking news that breaks something inside us. Another girl gone, another mother wailing, Another life violently erased. What used to be rare is now routine. From city corners to quiet towns, girls are being hunted in a society that's slowly normalizing their disappearance. The world scrolls past their faces on social media, their names trending briefly before vanishing into silence. Hello and welcome. We're delighted to have you join us at this hour on African News 24 TV for news and updates of events happening around you. I am Praiser Dilike. Here are stories and reports we have for you at this time. Beginning with the news of the abduction of 12 women by suspected Boko Haram terrorists. The women were reported kidnapped in Musa district in Askira Uba local government area of Borno State while returning from their farmlands. The state police public relations officer Nahum Daso has confirmed the attack, adding that investigation has been launched calling for calm. In a separate attack on Sunday, suspected Boko Haram terrorists also launched an over 2-hour assault in the Magumeri local government area of the state, burning homes, vehicles and shops, though it was confirmed that no lives were lost. Local says the attack has heightened fear in the area, particularly among women farmers who are frequently traveled through isolated routes. And in BAUCHI, the state government has ordered the immediate closure of all primary, secondary and tertiary institutions across the state following a surge in insecurity. The public relations officer of the Ministry of Education, Usman, noted that the measure affects public, private and federal schools that takes immediate effect. He added that the government is fully aware of the inconvenience this may have caused, but the protection of our children remains our top priority. Usman explained that the decision was reached through thorough consultation and in response to growing concerns for the safety of students, teachers, and school communities. Former Education Minister Obi EZEKWESILI has alluded the rising case of insecurity and repeated school kidnappings going on in the northern part of the country to corruption. She went further to say that the corruption has weakened important institutions, including the military and the judiciary, making them unable to protect citizens. She pointed to data showing that more than 1,600 students were kidnapped between 2014 and 2022, and over 800 more since 2023. EZEKWESILI said the constant abduction shows government's failure, not just security lapses. She added that after 10 years since the Chibok girls were taken, the government has no excuse and called the continued inaction deliberate negligence. She warned that any government that cannot rescue kidnapped children or keep schools safe cannot claim legitimacy. And to news of some relief, as all 38 worshippers abducted from Christ Apostolic Church, Eruku in Ekiti local government area of KWARA State have gained their freedom. The freedom is coming days after they were taken by armed men during a church program last Tuesday. KWARA State Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, who confirmed their release, said the victims were safely rescued through the combined efforts of security agencies, community leaders, and government officials. He also commended President Bola Tinubu for what he described as a decisive intervention that quickened the rescue operation. The assailant had reportedly demanded heavy ransom, with initial figures rising as high as 100 million per victim. Following their freedom, the victims were taken to the State House Clinic for medical evaluation, though it still remains unclear whether any ransom was eventually paid. And now the United States has condemned the recent kidnappings of students and teachers in Niger and KEBBI states. In a statement, the U.S. said the attack must not go unpunished and urged the Nigerian government to arrest those responsible. The U.S. also called for better security to protect schools and vulnerable communities, including Christians. Last week, gunmen kidnapped over 300 students and teachers from St. Mary's Catholic School in Niger State. Just days earlier, they also took about 24 schoolgirls from a school in KEBBI State and killed the vice principal. About 50 students were later escaped. The federal government claimed to have launched rescue operations, while President Bola Tinubu has ordered the Minister of State for Defense to move to KEBBI and lead the effort. And to some business stories, the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation has uncovered 28 major financial infractions involving the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. The infractions, which amount to about 61.1 billion naira, is said to be in questionable payments and undocumented expenditures. The red flags contained in the Auditor General's 2022 report on non-compliance detail weak internal controls, irregular procurement, tax breaches, and unsustained settlements across NNPCL and its subsidiaries. Among the concerns raised is the undocumented spending of 14.3 million euros by NNPCL's London office in 2021. And on the foreign scene, a suicide bombing at the Federal Constabulary headquarters in Penshaw on Monday has left 3 paramilitary personnel dead and 4 others injured. According to Penshaw Police Chief Mian Said, the attack occurred at about 8 in the morning on Sada Road when one assailant detonated explosives at the main gate, while 2 other attackers were swiftly shot dead by security forces. Scenes from the blast site showed body parts of a suspected bomber scattered near the damaged gate as emergency responders and bomb disposal teams moved in. The police chief said no group has yet claimed responsibility for the attack, which took place in a region that has faced renewed militant activity since the Taliban's return to power in Afghanistan in 2021. Prime Minister Sharif condemned the assault, commending security personnel for preventing further casualties. And to some sports stories, there are fresh concerns that the Super Falcons may miss another chance to regroup as the final Women's International window of 2025 opens today. This comes as the Nigeria Football Federation continues scrambling to secure friendly matches to the team. Other African sides like Ghana, Zambia, and South Africa have already lined up fixtures for the break. The NFF confirmed that a previously arranged friendly was cancelled after the opposing team suddenly pulled out, reportedly because the coach preferred what he called a lesser opponent. With the window running from November 24 to December 2nd, and the Super Falcons yet to confirm any game. NFF President Ibrahim Gusau simply said, "We are checking," when said about the team's plan. And that's all we have for you at this hour. Thank you for staying with us on African News 24 TV. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms displayed on your screen and visit our website at africanews24tv.ng to stay informed and ahead. I am Praise Adeleke. We'll be back with more updates in our next broadcast. Bye for now.